Hello everyone, welcome to IASbaba. So in this session, we are going to talk about how to make history easier for UPSC, both from the prelims perspective as from mains perspective. So we are going to see some patterns and themes that has been asked over last couple of years, and we'll also see some PYQs, because PYQs, we know that how important the PYQs are for competitive examinations, particularly for UPSC. So we'll see how the PYQs keeps on getting repeated, at the same time how the patterns keeps on getting repeated. We'll see all the subject, that is ancient, medieval, modern, even world history, even though it is only for mains. We'll look at that one also. And then later, we also talk about how to approach history as a subject. At the same time, how our classroom approach would be. Then lastly, we will talk about, we can say, what is the hit ratio from our classes, especially in the lastly in 2025 prelims itself only. We will take for the prelims matter. So then we will see all these things in this one particular session. Okay. So of course, myself Guru. So I'm history faculty for UPSC in IASbaba. So history decluttering. Okay. So look at first the patterns and themes, where the questions are coming from, and number of questions that recently asked. So look at take from last few years, let's say last 7-8 years. So this is the distribution of number of questions from history. That is the prelims trend we are talking about. Okay, the prelims trend. The trend last year we can talk about, that is 16 questions for that. I mean this year 2025, and that is average, we can say somewhere between 15 to 20. We can say that is average, because before last year, that is 2024, that is only 8 questions for us. But in some years I think 20 also. Just for making it simpler, because if we get more data from 2011, that would make it quite hard for you people. So that is the reason when you take last few years of data. So we can see here, these are the overall trend of the number of questions that has been asked. Okay, and what are the major themes across the subjects, we can say, ancient, particularly from the prelims perspective. Okay, so mains also will come to. Mains will understand through the PYQs itself, where they are focusing on how the prelims and mains converge sometimes, how the question that might asked in prelims also can be get asked in mains also in the same year or in next year. So look at that one. So art and culture is the one that gets mains significance. Okay, so particularly the ancient literature. Okay, then Ashokan inscription questions have been asked, particularly these two. Okay, so Buddhism and Jainism related literature, and previously there used to be asked concepts of Jainism and Buddhism. What is nirvana? Okay, so what is, we can talk about different sects of Buddhism and Jainism. Okay, Sanakavasi, there is one question if you could able to remember. And in early medieval India, some politics and minor dynasties were asked recent last couple of years. But last 1 or 2 years, I think they have reduced the number of medieval questions. Okay, but when they used to hold importance, I think most importance was given to Vijayanagara Empire. We'll see, look at the questions also. I'm not trying to here to teach you what is the topic and maybe, so we'll just analyze that kind of question that might come, because that will give you certain kind of idea about how the subject is and how you can approach it. What is the best way to approach? The best way to approach any competitive examination for that matter is the examination trend itself. And of course, modern India is a freedom movement, and even this year also in 2025, I think there are pretty many questions were asked about non-cooperation movement. Okay, Gandhiji as a, we can say, personality, and Gandhiji as a personality, it is there in prelims also as well as in mains also. That is, I told you, convergence between prelims and mains. So recognition of these themes, where the questions are coming from, how we should prepare, I think that holds massively importance for the competitive examination, that is particularly UPSC. Okay, so look at these questions, like whatever the themes I have mentioned here. Look at how the questions have come this year. I think it goes back to 2020. So I have taken questions from all these years. Look at, I told you, ancient literature. Look at that one. Panini. Again, all these are, maybe some of you may or may not have idea about what history is, because we are going to simplify it for you people in the classes. So these are all, that is literature related questions. So this is one such question. I will give you many evidence of that particular question. I think many people, even though whether you have history or non-history background, must have heard about Kalidasa. Okay, then again Amarasimha, Panini. Okay, these are all great scholars during ancient India. That question was asked. Don't worry about answers and everything. Just recognition of the themes is quite important. Okay, simple. I think Kalidasa, around which particular ruler times they were associated with. That is a theme they have asked about. Now look at this one, the Chandragupta II. This asked in, we can say, previous year question paper. This year they asked about who is the Chinese traveler who came to India during Chandragupta II. That is 2025. And right. And in before last year, I think, say, Harshavardhana. Okay, they asked about which dynasties were there during the time of Harshavardhana. That question was asked. Then they asked about one more book about the son of Pushyamitra Shunga, that is Agnimitra. That is called as Malvika Agnimitra. That book again written by Kalidasa. So look at how all this converges. Okay, that is the importance of PYQs, we can say. Okay, that is the most important aspect of PYQs. Again, look at this one. This is Sangam poems. I told you Sangam literature. That is a question that is asked about. I think this was in 2022. Yes. So look at that. Literature is having, we can say, more weightage nowadays. They might ask only one question, but one question, the game of margins, especially in competitive examination, is very, very minimal. Sometimes you miss out by 1 marks, even by 0.5 marks, all these kind of things. Knowing that one theme, that will make you prepare that particular theme very hard and very smart way. That is what puts you differently from the crowd or the other mentality. Again, one more, look at this one. This is 2023, Neti Prakarana, Prasistha Parvan. Again, these are all textbooks, which are all Jaina texts, what they are asked about. With reference to consider the following textbook, so which are all Jaina textbooks. Okay, again, that is a repetition. So we have to be in conformity with the trend. Again, I'm not asking you people, I'm not saying you people that the questions will definitely come from PYQ itself only, but that will give us some kind of confidence. That will give us how to prepare for the examination. It is not just for UPSC, for every competitive examination for that matter. Okay, so PYQs also very important. Okay, so probably the most important sources are always the PYQs. It doesn't mean questions will not come out of PYQs. Obviously, there are more scope to ask from out of PYQs, and that's what we are going to cover in the classes. But it doesn't mean we should, because they have asked, we cannot think like they will not ask these kind of questions. The chance of coming is quite higher, rather than not coming is very less. And again, look at that one. One more, 2024, playwright Bhasha. Again, literature question. So look at it, 2022, 23, 24. So how many times it is getting repeated? Okay, and then again Vijayanagara I talked about. This Kalyana Mandapa, it's art and culture combining with Vijayanagara. I told you medieval times Vijayanagara is getting important. 2019. So Kalyana Mandapas are feature of, that is actually Vijayanagara Empire. Okay, look at how the questions come. Again 2023, Vijayanagara Empire. Okay, which ruler was known for building canals? That is Devaraya I. Okay, then again look at 2024. Which Vijayanagara ruler provided permission for Portuguese to build a fort at Bhatkala? That is Krishnadevaraya. Again Vijayanagara, 2019, 23, 24. Again, it may not come in 26, of course. We are preparing for next year, 26. There was no question in 2025. Okay, so exactly, it may not have to repeat the very next year, but in future. Okay, in future, it might repeat after 10 years also. I'm not saying it will come in very next year. It might repeat after 10 years too. Okay, then again, look at this question. This is from modern history. Okay, this question, okay, so this is 2019. Which crops from New World to Old World? Okay, New World is, we can say, that is Americas. Old World is, we can say, Europe, Africa and Asia. So which crops were introduced into India? Okay, that is tobacco, cocoa and rubber. This was asked in 2019, right? So look at this year, that is 2025. Look at, consider the following fruit. This is 2025. This last May, June, that is when this particular question was asked. Papaya rather, pineapple, guava. So they were introduced by, we can say, that is Portuguese in 17th centuries. And should look at this one. Again, that is they were also introduced by the Portuguese only. Okay, they were also introduced by the Portuguese. Okay, so and these were also introduced by the Portuguese too. Of course, sorry for this spelling error. Okay, centuries. And so look at 2019, 2025. So this is what you will be in confirm. You should know what the trend is, where the questions are coming from. Okay, now look at this question. Rohitwari settlement. This 2012 rather. This question was asked. This is like one concept. Again, I am not bothering with giving you the right answer or the wrong answer, why it is right, what is wrong. No, that is not the intention with which I have prepared this particular session. It is only just recognition of the themes, what history is, making it simplify. Okay, so Rohitwari settlement is 2012. Okay, then again 2017. Okay, introduction of Rohitwari settlement again. This is what I wanted to focus on, the keywords. Again, one more question was also there in 2024. Due to some discrepancies in the statements, UPSC has withdrawn that particular question. That is also about, we can say, Cornwallis and related to this land revenue aspect of Britishers only. Okay, some discrepancies were there in that particular question. So that is the reason that was withdrawn. It was asked in 2024. Okay, so this is how, again, keeps on getting repeated. So you have to know, you must know that one. Look at the mains also. Okay, ancient mains, that is prelims perspective, ancient, medieval, and we can say modern. Now look at the mains PYQs. Now look at this one, Gandhara Art. Okay, then again it is about Buddhism. Understood? Then again look at it one, Buddhist stupa art, again related to Buddhism. Pala period, again related to Buddhism. Again, don't worry about question, whether you understand the question, do not understand, doesn't matter. I am asking you, just notice. These are all related questions. Okay, then again Gandhara. Look at here, Gandhara. Okay, so this is what you have to focus on. I think I have not mentioned which year they come. So these are UPSC questions spanning from 2013 to until 2024. Okay, so this is how. Look at that. In mains also the themes are repeating. In prelims also the themes are repeating. Okay, all you require is the correct understanding of these themes that you are going to understand in the classes. Now look at the medieval also again. Okay, look at the topics. Don't worry about all these questions. They might sound presently alien to you. So it doesn't matter. Sufis and medieval mystics. Again, Sufi, and again we can talk about, we can say there is Bhakti and Sufism. There is a one topic. Again, look at that one, Bhakti movement. That is asked. Again, Bhakti literature. Then again, Vijayanagara, which was asked in prelims. Now again in mains, Sri Krishna Deva Raya. Okay, again literature. This is also literature, Bhakti literature. Then again Persian literature. Okay, so this is what. Okay, so it is not the hard work you are going to do, how much that hard work is combined with the smart work. That is what ultimately matters. And that is in your hands. And when you have the right mindset, when you have the right understanding, when you have the right guidance, so that is when things become easier. Or we will make things easier with the right guidance. Again, look at the modern mains PYQs. Since the decade of 1920s, okay, national movement acquired various ideologies. Don't worry about all these things. It might sound alien again. Then again, that 1920s is a time Gandhiji came into Indian freedom movement scene. Again, Gandhian phase, and that is from 1919 to 1947. That is since 1920s, Gandhian phase, the same timeline. Then again, importance of new objectives, various ideology, new objectives, everything same. Okay, in the 20s of the last century, that is 20th century, 20s, that is 1920s, Gandhian phase, 1920s. Okay, so that is how, that is what we need to have the proper or the right understanding about this particular examination. Then again, look at this one. Again, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore, this 2023. Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 2015. Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose, 2016. How the personalities, how the comparison of these personalities also. Right since the inception, 2015 to we can say 2023. How it is a major recurring theme. And that is the reason, that is what you should have the right understanding. I keep repeating this one. Now look at world history also. Many people do not have, again, they have neglected world history. Many people do not take world history quite seriously, because last year we know there is a couple of questions for asked. Okay, look at this one, 2024 itself only. How far was the industrial revolution? Latecomer industrial revolution. Why did industrial revolution? I should see 2024. That is 2013. This is 2015. Okay, honestly, I don't know why people don't take world history very seriously. Okay, it is one of the most scoring and easy to understand, very interesting actually. When you have the, of course, the teaching also matters, whether the person is going to, sometimes the interesting subject can also be made boring with bad teaching. Right? So again, it is a common, repeatable, identifiable themes in ancient, medieval, modern, then again world history also. This is what ultimately you require. Whether the person guiding you has the right understanding of the subject. That is what ultimately matters. Okay, so this is about we can say what we should focus on about this particular examination. Okay, so particularly how our the major source for our preparation should be our PYQs. So that is how it should be, without any disregard for that one. Many people they say, yes, we have seen the PYQs. No, not just seeing the PYQs. We have the right understanding about that PYQs. That is what ultimately matters. You should have that right understanding. You should have the right guidance. You should know how to use that particular content. Okay, it's not about having the resources, how to use that resources. Okay, and now we'll take from this 2025 prelims perspective. So how many questions came from our classes? 8 ratio. We call it as 8 ratio. So we have provided some kind of evidence from the classes. We have taken screenshots. Okay, I think we did a separate video on this also. You can check out on YouTube. Okay, I think right after prelims, a couple of months back, we did that. So one more time, I think because this is about entire history. So yes, we know what should be read in history. What are the important things? I will come to sources and everything after this one. So look at how we are covering the classes. What is the value we can provide? Okay, so this is one question. Don't worry about answers which are marked. Some of them are wrongly marked because it is a screenshots of the question paper we have taken. So it is a question about Rajaram Mohan Rai. Okay, that is philosophical system of East. Okay, you're talking about possess great love and respect for traditional philosophies of the East. Okay, and again rational and scientific approach. Okay, and this we directly covered. I think this is one of our last year classes, 2025 morning batch in class number 35. Again, we have taken the classes, we record the classes. You people have access to those recordings for 1 year or so. So that is where we have exact keywords we have used in the classes itself. Okay, rational. So look at this one. That is a word called where it is rational. Understood? And not just that one. Then again, Oriental. Oriental means East actually. Okay, Oriental, this is the East. This is what it is. Oriental means East. So we have covered that particular question. Western philosophy, that is regenerate Western Indian, we can say social, which was happening, which was experiencing with a lot of degeneration. So we want to regenerate that one. Okay, through rationality and mixing of Oriental and Western philosophy. Again, we just discussed this, no? Papaya, pineapple, guava. So this is a question 2020, 2015, 2019 was also asked. So that we covered in the class. Exactly, new introduction. That is, we can talk about new crops. That's for introducing the classes. Introduced by the Portuguese, and we covered in the classes, class number 27. Again, 2025. Before the prelims, it happened. I think we connected these classes around November, I guess so. November 2024, and the questions came in May 2025. Okay, so that is our. That is how much. That is how we are connecting the classes. We are aligned with what UPSC is asking. We will cover all the PYQ themes, and of course beyond that also we are going to cover. Okay, entire understanding of history. Okay, now look at this one. Fahian, Chandragupta II. I told you one question. Very first question I just mentioned that Chandragupta II. Look at this one. 2025 Chandragupta II. Did we cover in the class? Exactly. Okay, so Chandragupta II, Fahian. So that is the question. Fahian. Okay, again, it's class number 13. Okay, so we will cover in a chronological way ancient, medieval, art and culture, then again modern history. Okay, then world history, everything. And then again this one, Matta Vilasa, Vichitra Chitta, Gunabhara. So it is the epithets of which particular king? It's not Narasimha Varma, it's actually Mahendra Varma. Okay, that is the right answer. Did we cover it? Exactly. Matta Vilasa. Exact words we have written. Okay, this is in class number 16. Okay, so we have covered most of the things. Of course, nobody can cover all the things. So we are just claiming what we have covered it. How many questions have come from our angle? That's it. Look at it again. Pradeshika, Rajuka, Yukta. Are they provincial? No, they're actually district level. Okay. Sorry, they're provincial level only. I'm sorry. Okay, provincial level only. Okay, now look at this one. Pradeshika, Rajuka. We covered the exact keywords too. Okay, Yuktas. Exact. Same year. Okay. So that is Pradeshika Rajuka Yukta. Okay, exactly. Pradeshika Rajuka, then again Yukta. Should. So all these things we have covered. Okay, then did we cover this one? That is territorial region, that is Mahajanapadas, Ashmaka, Kamboja, Avanti, Koshala. Okay, so exactly Koshala, Kashi, Varanasi. Okay, then again Ayodhya. Ayodhya was on the we can say on the banks of river Sarayu. Okay, Kamboja, exactly. Okay, then again Avanti. So everything, all Mahajanapadas were covered. Again, this is a class number 9th. Mahajanapadas come before we can say Mauryas. Understood? And then again all the Mahajanapadas. Okay, Ashoka, Anga, on which river banks they were there. Okay, now dancing girl at Mohenjo-daro, it is a question that is asked, is a bronze dancing girl. Okay, bronze casting, this is a slide that is from the class, because in art and culture we use slides. Okay, so this also we covered. And again, it is class 14th. Now Aragatta, this is one question, it is a PYQ actually, 2016 PYQ, that is again repeated in 2015, exact words. Okay, so did we cover it? Yes, this is our YouTube channel. You can go and check in YouTube channel. So exactly, that is a question Aragatta was asked, 2016 I told you. That is open source. It is there on YouTube channel. We covered that one. Okay, then non-cooperation movement. Look at this one, boycott, then again observance. Okay, abstract non-violence, then again retention of titles. Okay, so look at this one. Again, non-cooperation movement, same here, 2 questions were asked about this non-cooperation movement, that is Gandhian phase, Gandhiji, that is one question in prelims, then in mains, now again repeated. Okay, then again Swaraj, peaceful legitimate means, look at, did we cover? Exactly, it is again in our YouTube channel, there is a video. See, constitutional methods to peaceful methods, see, peaceful means, methods are means. Okay, then again titles, Khadi, Swadeshi, boycott, do they have that? Boycott, okay, non-violence, titles. So we have covered the exact keywords also. Okay, and it's simple to and easy to make it quite easier to the people to understand it better. So we have covered like this one. Okay, again, this is on our YouTube channel. You can go and check it. Okay, so did we cover this one? That is Pune Pact. So Gandhiji again, look at that one, origin. So when did he establish that one? Okay, exactly. It was a repetition actually, 1932. This was a question, okay, after Ramsay MacDonald, when he gave the Communal Award. So that is when this upliftment of origins started. Gandhi decided that origin Sevak Sangha. Exactly. All India Untouched Look, origin Sevak Sangha. Again, after Pune Pact. Okay, this is exactly Pune Pact. Okay, then again is a PYQ also after Communal Award, that is after Pune Pact. Before Pune Pact, this was Mahatma Gandhi fast unto death. And did we cover? Exactly after Pune Pact. Origin Sevak Sangha also called as All India Untouched League. Again, this is also our YouTube channel. Okay, then was it again a PYQ? 100%. Look at this one, All India Untouchability League. There was also PYQ, we covered it in the class. Look at this one, self-respect movement. That is started by Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. Did we cover? Exactly, Ramaswamy Naikar, exact words. Again, this is class 35. Alright, so this is how. So we are providing content as well as class in line with the, we can say, process, in line with the examination process. Now, who is the king? Invaded Sumatra, Java, that is neighboring peninsula islands, that is Rajendra I, that is Cholas. Did we cover? Exactly, Imperial Cholas, Java, Sumatra, okay, Rajendra Chola. Again, this is our YouTube video. We did it for, I think, for prelims rapid revision. You can check that one. Did we cover it in the class also? Exactly, Java, Sumatra. Okay, we covered that also. In class also, as a free resource in YouTube also. Now, what are the sources? Simple. standard NCERTs. Okay, for all the textbook, there is a basic should be clear. Class notes, what we give, and of course we have value-added notes called as IASbaba's VAN, value-added notes. So that is also you people can also refer. So this is the only thing you require. Okay, so class what we give, standard NCERTs for basic understanding. Then again IASbaba's VAN notes. Yeah, 1 or 2 standard textbooks will be there, but we will tell it in the class only if you have higher understanding. But just sticking to the basics. All these questions are basics only. Okay, so basic understanding of the subject. That's what ultimately matters. Now, how to read? Simple. Make short notes. Underline the keywords. And whatever the high yield areas where the questions are coming from, deeper understanding of them. At the same time, improving your weak areas within the subject itself. Of course, it doesn't mean you shouldn't focus on the other topics which have not been asked. You should focus on them also. Okay, but giving more importance to high yield areas. Now, what is a smart way of reading? First and foremost, when you keep reading, it is not just applicable for history itself, for every other subject too. Keep the PYQs in front of you. Both prelims and mains PYQs, both they should be in front of you. Understood? So look at, when you start reading that one particular topic, look at the PYQs. Are there any questions? Or what kind of questions might come? Anticipate. And after reading the topic, give a test. And we conduct our daily tests after the classes. Daily tests will be there. Okay. And both objective and subjective tests too. That is mains test also as well as prelims test also. You should give it. And then evaluate whether where it is going down or where it is not going right, where it is going wrong. How to improve yourself, what is your strengths, what are your weaknesses. Make sure you know everything. Because you will be preparing in an objective manner. Not just somebody is saying to do something and you are doing something. No, that is not you will be doing. You will be doing with, we can say, you know, where you need to improve. What should be done to improve. So all those things. And of course, some of the mistakes, common mistakes. Again, leave no subject or topic. Not just the PYQs, from the other topics also you have to read. And consistent revision. And again, some people will do the mistake of jumping from one source to another. Please don't do that. Stick to the one source, read as many times as possible. Again, it is not just for history itself, it applies for every other subject. You should have a proper routine. You should be disciplined about your routine. You should follow it very religiously. And you should avoid distraction. That is the reason you should have a deep focus with proper time management. So that is how you should read. So all these things with the right guidance, with the right set of, we can say, content, and yes, things start look rosier. Imagine. Hopefully, you understood. I have made it quite simple about how history should be read, what are the sources to read, what should focus on, how our class will run, and we have presented the evidence here. How much we have covered. Of course, we didn't cover all the questions that is from 2025. There are certain questions that UPSC has asked. We have missed it too. We are very honest about it. We are not saying 90% hit rate, all those kind of things. No. If not 90%, we can definitely claim more than 70%. Even 75% also. Because out of 16, I think we covered around 12 to 13, I would say. Okay. So, exactly. So, this is how the classes will run. It will be engaging. It will be two-way interactive. Mentors will be there. Okay. So, faculties will also be there. Okay. So, thank you so much. So, hopefully, you got to know what should be focusing with respect when it comes to history as a subject. Okay. So, thank you so much. See you soon.